On the 4th day of FIFA, Rannerz brought to me a camera and controller settings video. Has to be done. You gotta do it. And let's get through it. Let's hope this helps you in some way. So, to get to settings, because you know, some people might not play FIFA a lot, might know where it is, not know where it is even, and it might be their first FIFA. So basically all you gotta do, get to the main menu, head over to customize, pretty easy. Then you want to open settings, and then you want to go to customize controls. Now here, the first thing you'll notice is this thing called competitive master switch. You should play with this on. It's automatically turned on in like Rivals and Foot Champions, Weekend League, and all that stuff. So you should always kind of have it on, so you're always used to playing with that. But also, just a side note is you can like change your controllers in here. So like you can switch like stuff around. So if you want different buttons to be different buttons, just because some people don't know about it, you can just set it up here, which allows you like change the buttons around if that's something you want to do, and then the same with defense. But anyways, back to the controller settings. So you want to go ahead and flick this on. What you can see here, if you have like other stuff on, and then you put on the competitive master switch, it automatically puts all the stuff on, and it drops the settings all the way down here. Just some things to note in the competitive master switch, because these settings are obviously forced. Jockey is on manual, so you don't kind of glue as much to attackers as you did last year, so it's harder to stick to them, so you have to just get used to that. That's why you may have been struggling sticking with attackers defensively this year. Next up, you see true pass assistance. That's on semi instead of assisted. You could have had that on last year. Doesn't really make that much of a difference, so I wouldn't worry about it. It does mean that the power and direction does mean a bit more when you're passing. And then finally, tactical defending has always been forced in Ultimate Team, so that's the same as always. Next up, you got the Fifa Trainer. You're gonna go ahead and hide that. Nobody wants to see that unless it's like your first time playing FIFA ever. Next, you got time finishing. This has to be on this year. It's too important. Too important. If you guys need a tutorial on that, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. But if you guys watch my gameplay tips video, you know how deadly this is. It's a must have, and it's a must learn this year. You can't just have it on, you need to learn how to do it properly as well. Next, we got next play is switch indicator. This is personal preference. It's the little indicator that goes over the person closest to you to tell you who you'll switch to if you press LB. I like it. I think it's a good feature. I don't see why you turn it off. Pass block assistance. This you should definitely have on. It helps you intercept better, basically. Auto switching, so this is up to you. The three options are automatic, which you should never have on. This, basically every time they pass, it'll switch, which is the most frustrating thing ever. Then, now, this year you have air balls or loose balls. Loose balls wasn't in it before. I'm a big fan of just air balls. You can go with loose balls, but I just prefer to manually switch for that. The reason you definitely need to have airballs on and not manual is mainly for like corners and crosses. If you have it on manual, it's so hard to get the right person at the right time, and you end up just conceding from crosses. So definitely don't use manual. That's suicide. But you can get away with airballs, or you can do automatic, I guess, but I really wouldn't recommend it because it just forces you to switch player too much, and you can't like chase back with a CDM, because if they pass, it'll switch you to the defender instead. Anyways, auto switching move assistance. If you're bad at defending, so the better you're at defending is where this should be. So if you're terrible at defending, put this on high. If you're okay at defending, you can put it on low. And if you're really good at defending, you want full control, so you want no assistance when it switches. So this basically means if the player is running like left, say, and you switch to them, if you have it on high, it'll keep going left for a little bit. If you have low, it'll only keep going left for like half a second. And if you have none, it'll instantly switch to whatever you tell it to do. So obviously for me, none is better because I want to take control immediately. But if you're not great at defending, high will probably help you. Clearing assistance. This, like, I think directional is better. The classic is it's what used to happen when you pressed either B or circle and it just like cleared the ball. But directional is way better because you want to clear in a direction, in my opinion. But remember, if you are used to the classic clearing, put it back to classic because it is on directional by default. So put it on classic if that's what you're used to, and if you don't want to aim clearances. Player lock, this you should have on if you use player lock, and have it off if you don't. Pretty self-explanatory. Icon switching, I have this on but I never use it. It's a new kind of switching technique where you click in the right stick and it shows 4 indicators above your players, and it tells you to flick a different direction with your analog stick so that you can get the exact player you want instead of like spam switching around. I personally don't use it because I'm comfortable enough with right stick switching, but if you enjoy it, keep it on. I just have it on just cause I never use it, but whatever. Right stick switching, I use player relative. I think that's way better than ball relative. Ground pass assistance assisted, shot assisted, cross assisted. Anything you can have assisted, you should have assisted. So all these assisted. Save assistance only matters if you're a pro club's goalkeeper. So yeah. Analog sprint, I have it on. It gives you a tiny bit more control over your sprinting depending on how much you push the analog stick. Pass receiver lock late, so that's when you pass the ball at somebody. If you have it on early, as soon as you like make the pass and you aim it, that's where it goes. Late gives you a chance to bail out. So say you passed it to this striker, right? You're passing it to him, and in between you clicking the button and the player actually passing the ball, that pass gets marked. You can at the last second move the analog stick to a different player and the pass will switch to go to that player instead. If you do it on early, you're locked in to passing to that striker. You can't affect it late. So I think that's terrible. Late is definitely way better. But anyways, that's the controller settings done. If you guys are wondering, I don't change any of this stuff. I play with the classic controls. I always have done because I showed it earlier. It came out with the custom thing. But let's head over to camera. So if you load up FIFA on old gen, I'm on old gen at the moment, you get hit with default. If you're on next gen, you get hit with this EA broadcast camera or something, and it is the worst thing ever. Okay, so you want to go ahead and switch that. But personally, I use co-op. I used to use 20 height 0 zoom. This year it looks different for whatever reason, so I'm using the default settings of 10 and 10. Camera is always a personal preference, but I would recommend using co-op for sure, and then kind of messing around with these numbers to figure out what suits you. But co-op definitely is the one, in my opinion. It gives you such a better view of the pitch, and you can see through balls, but when you're attacking and defending them, I think you are at a serious disadvantage if you're not using it. But anyways guys, that's the controller settings, camera settings covered. If you guys didn't like the video, like the video. Simple as. Comment any questions up below. I'll be sure to help you out. And until next time, have a good day, guys.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see us